What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nathan, and on this planet we send it. And what we're going to be getting in today, well, we're going to be getting into a garden vlog. And as a matter of fact, this one's a little bit special. I've been gone on the Rubicon Trail doing one of the most hardcore Jeep trails out there. And I've been gone for about a week. And so now it's Summer Solstice. I was waiting until today because I got back yesterday to go ahead and do this. So I've been intentionally staying on the inside of my house and not coming out here because I kind of wanted you guys to get my impressions as I look at the garden after about a week. All right, I got a plan in place. Let's go ahead and send it. So let's take a look here. Let's look at the potatoes and the blueberry bushes over here. So I do want to let you know that probably about 2 weeks ago, I was starting to see some of the potatoes growing. I was able to see the potatoes actually in the bottom on both that one and also on this one. So I filled them both up with a little bit of soil. And I'll keep doing that. If I start seeing potatoes again, I'll go ahead and fill them up with soil just so that the sun doesn't, turn them green. And the blueberries here, this one looks that I'm not really seeing too much growth here. Maybe some more leaves coming in here. But they look like, especially this one, is looking like it's getting stronger. It looks like maybe it's putting a lot of energy into developing the roots and everything. But yeah, obviously there's no flowers and no blueberries coming in yet, but it does look like it's growing. I think it's probably getting about time I go ahead and hit it with some more acidic style fertilizer because that's what the blueberries like. All right, well, checking out the hungry worm bin. Man, that appears that I got quite a bit of leachate down there. I got to start putting that to some use. Okay. Oh, look at all the worms. I think the other thing that looks like my mother-in-law's been putting in a lot of fruit, and that's what's doing it too. But so what I'm going to do is, because you can see it's pretty much sort of like all covered with fruit here at the top, what I'm going to do is put another layer of cardboard over the top, not only to help kind of dry things out, but also the worms like cardboard, and it's cardboard, once they digest it, is good for the garden. Let's go ahead and check out the strawberries now. So the plants themselves are doing really good. Look at how just vibrant they're standing up. The growth is just sort of going upwards and out, and got a lot of flowers, especially up here coming in addition to some of the strawberries. So it looks like we're getting ready to go in for our next harvest. They do appear to be a little dry, so after this I'll go ahead and water them, but the strawberries look like they're getting ready to come in for their next growth spurt. In this area, it's got a lot of bolting going on. Looks like the celery is looking to go to seed, so we're just letting it go to seed here, and we'll let it self-seed for the next year. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the bees, because I haven't seen the bees in a while. All right, let me go ahead and zoom in real fast. The bees are looking healthy. I'm not seeing any necessarily increase. They definitely haven't moved over to any of the other sections right there. Let me get a better picture for you guys. But they are full right now. I hope that means that they're just, the population is good and that it's not necessarily there's a lack of pollen, because that just can't be. There's so many flowers out there. Those bees, I'm sure, have a ton of pollen they can go and get. But they look to be doing healthy, and that's great to see. And the hops down here, man, they are just blowing up this year. Look at how dark, the darkened shadow, the canopy it's creating is doing. And heck, man, they're even just climbing up this tree right here too. This little vine bush and moving on over. Yeah, these things are doing great. Little curious to know what's up here sort of eating at the top leaves here, but it seems like that's sort of protecting everything in beneath it. So that's good to see. Let's just kind of walk down here. Yeah, these things go all the way, man, just still going all the way down here. And to be honest, if I pull this out, it looks like it kind of is even wrapping back. If I were to pull it out and go down anymore, I'd probably get it down to about here. Now, a little bit before I left, the family went ahead and planted some new vegetables. So you got some kale here. You're going to see some kale coming around. All of the tomatoes, it seems like just about every flower on the tomatoes are now turning into tomatoes. So that's great. We got more kale down there. I'm not seeing too much here. So unfortunately, I didn't plant it. So I don't know exactly what has potentially been eaten by the insects already, but got more kale down here. It looks like we got another sort of bean down here that's actually coming up and doing good. Looks like another bean down there is coming up and doing good. More kale. Let's see here. It looks like the milkweed down here is doing good. So yeah, all in all, this section seems like it's clearing out. The beans that were here, we've harvested and pulled. So it looks like and it looks like we planted these hot peppers here, and it looks like they're doing really well. I forget which ones these were, but these hot peppers look like they're doing really well too. So we'll be able to use that on like salsa and stuff. And as a matter of fact, it looks like I overlooked it. Let's just come down here real fast. It looks like these green sweet peppers are growing again. They're not getting full sun as which sweet peppers require, but it looks like they're doing all right considering. Okay, now this is actually one of the ones I was really wanting to see was the plum tree, because some are already starting to go purple and ripen here, and oh my goodness, plums just hands down, you cannot beat the flavor from a ripened on the tree plum. Ooh, this one might be slight pull. Yes, got this one before the birds. Hold on a second. Try to get this for you guys when I eat it. This is the first plum I'm having of the season, and these things, oh my goodness, let's try them. All right, I'm gonna be honest, I pulled it a little too soon. It's still a little bit tart. Still, maybe I should have just pulled even lighter, but this should not be this tart. Normally when plums are fully ripened, they are 100% sweet, no bitterness at all, and this one has a little bit bitterness. This one's similar to one you'll get in the tree. So I see a few more. Yeah. Oh, actually, hold on a second. There's another one up here. Let me see if I can get to it. All right, so there's another one right there that I cannot reach. So I'm going to go ahead and just lightly shake the branch and see if it falls. Something fell. Oh no. A young one fell. Okay, so that might not be. Don't do that again. Don't follow my lead on that one. That wasn't a good method, but that one up there actually looks pretty good. I just okay. Maybe I'll have to get a light step ladder and just gently pull on that after this video and see if it comes out. All right, let's take a look here at the semi-dwarf trees. I mean, this one's doing really good. I mean, this one's filling in really nicely. So I'm really happy, and I feel real confident that this one, you know, has a very good chance of surviving. This one is, you know, it's a lot bigger than it's ever been before, but I wish it had more of the leaf structure as this one. So this one still gives me a little bit of concern, but we'll just continue watering both of them, and hopefully this one starts, you know, pulling out and branching out in all different directions with strength like this one does. And the peach tree here too. Okay, let's check it out. So I am seeing, I mean, there's definitely peaches all over here. So I'm trying to see if there's anything that I kind of want to highlight for you guys. I got a very good, evenly distributed, not overly distributed. I mean, not overly saturated branches. So I'm pretty happy to see that. There are a few onesie twosies. Like I can kind of see down here to where there are like 2 peaches growing on the same branch there. I don't like that, but I'm gonna still let it go. But for the most part, it's like we got one there, we got one there. Looks like 2 are growing on that one, but I think for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how these are growing. I just wanna, you know, depending on how the fruit tastes, then I'm gonna, you know, that'll be the true test to make sure, number 1, I can get to them before the birds, and then number 2, you know, I can get to them after they're fully ripened. So that's gonna be the challenge. Let's see here. The persimmons tree seems like it's, you know, growing up pretty tall. Looks like it's, you know, branching out here, and so it looks like it's starting to, you know, I mean, it's already been taking pretty good root, but it looks like it's getting ready to grow enough leaves to possibly start producing persimmons. But I don't see any fruit coming in yet. And for the Mexican lime tree, I'm seeing lots of flowers and everything there at the top that have already come and gone, and that they look like they're starting to transition to fruit. So, I mean, the Mexican lime tree has always been sort of a constant in the garden, similar to Big Bertha. As soon as we planted it, it just started growing really well. And I definitely am enjoying how I'm seeing from the bottom here, it coning up. That's a great sign, because if it keeps that up, then heck, I might even end up one of these years, maybe, taking off some of these big ones and allowing it just to cone up as, dense, but not too dense, because when it comes to citrus, you let them pretty much just grow how they are, but you only prune them back to make sure that they don't grow in too dense. And so right now it looks to be doing very well. All right, and the fig trees. Okay, so let's start down here. This is the new one. It looks like it's growing pretty strong. Leaves look pretty healthy. I'm not expecting any fruit to come in on this one quite yet, but it looks to be doing really good. These one, the branches are also appearing to do really well. Let's take a look here. Got lots of figs starting to come in all throughout the tree. So the figs are starting to come in, at least like second bloom. We've already had the first beginning of the season bloom. So the second season is coming in. The second fruit period is coming in, so that's good to see. So yeah, no complaints here. Everything, the fig tree is another one that's been doing really well and has always done well, so it's just continuing even after I pruned it back so heavily recently. All right, I think the last time I did a vlog, the avocado tree had maybe like 10 avocados that were coming in. Well, just before I left on the trip, we were down to like 3 or less. So let's see if we can even find one. Oh, I say find one, and we already got 2. So we got one right there, and then we got one back there. So those are 2. Let me see. They definitely get a lot easier to find, not only because when they're bigger, not only because they are bigger, because they normally the weight of them, they're hanging down, and they're hanging down just beneath the branches. So I feel like right now I'm only seeing 2, but there might be another one in there. But right now I can only account for those 2. So as I've said many times, the first year of production on Avocado Tree, it's usually around 3 to 5. I'm actually surprised I'm only getting 2 right now. So, or I think it's actually no more than 5, so I'm within there. But I was kind of hoping that this would be sort of the exception and maybe be a little bit more than 5. But this avocado appears to be just a typical one. But at a minimum, it's healthy. The leaves are in really great shape. I'm not seeing any dying back from the leaves here, although I am also not seeing any new growths coming in, which would kind of signify the combination of brown tips of the leaves and then also new growth. But so if anything, it's not growing right now. It's just putting a lot of the energy into the fruit production, and so that's good to see. We'll be obviously keeping a close eye on this one. And Big Bertha, this thing should start to be Oh yeah, it's flowering. Okay, so yeah, Big Bertha is now starting to beginning to transition into fruiting. So I'm very curious to see how the fruiting is going to be for Big Bertha this year, since we did cut her back so heavily. And I'm going to see, hopefully, maybe after cutting her back so much, we're actually going to be able to keep up with her. But this is Big Bertha. I'm pretty confident she's still going to just go into beast mode unexpectedly beyond whatever we thought of and just go nuts on us. So that's Big Bertha for you. All right. Man, the pomegranate tree. A heavy lean. I really need to get a ratchet strap out here and ratchet the tree probably to Big Bertha and pull this one up. I'm pretty sure Big Bertha could handle all the extra weight right now, but that's my only concern with this, because besides that, man, pomegranates, 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 pomegranates. We got them all over the tree. This tree is really going to be producing a lot of pomegranates for this year, and that's great to see. I just got to take my steps to make sure it doesn't self-prune itself by pulling over to the side and snapping something I don't want to snap. All right, let's take a look at the baby avocado tree with the little fly on the leaf that flew away. Well, at least the leaves are coming in. We got new leaves that are coming in, and they appear to be doing pretty well. I don't see them being ate up, kind of like it did here at the top. So all in all, it's still, I don't know why that happened. If someone knows, let me know. I don't know why it does that. But the leaves coming in, actually, they're not looking too healthy. Look at how they're browning there at the, oh, these are browning the new ones are looking good. So actually the old ones are sacrificing themselves for the new ones. So that's pretty typical. And I'm seeing even additional growth in here. So I am still concerned for the baby avocado tree, but I feel like it's going to survive, but time will tell. And the papaya tree, it actually looks like while I was away, my mother-in-law went ahead and harvested one of the papayas that ripened, because there was one over here that was almost completely yellowish orange tipped at the bottom like that one is, but all over, and it was about significantly larger. So I think they may have harvested one while I was away. Good sign, these leaves are looking, you know, although this one is one of the original ones that during the transition from winter to spring, you can see some of these new ones are looking really dark. So papaya, as I am now learning, I probably could have read it, but as I've now learned through watching it a couple of years, does not like when it starts getting below 50 into the 40s and definitely the 30s. It seemed like once it got above like steadily 50 degrees in the evening and nothing less, and in the daytime it get to like the 70s and 80s, this thing really started picking up, and the warmer the better. All right, and similar to the avocado tree, this thing had so many flowers, and it was like at 10 or more oranges, and when I left I think it was down to 1, because you can even see down here they're just falling down. So I don't even know if I'm gonna have any right now, to be honest with you. Let's take a look. Yeah, I'm not, unfortunately I'm not seeing any. You know, hopefully there's one, like, you know, similar to the avocado. Once it gets a little bigger, it'll be easier to see. If anything, it'll be hanging down and making it easier to see. But right now I feel like I'm giving it a pretty good look, and I'm not seeing any oranges, so that's unfortunate. Maybe next time. All right, let's take a look at the little engine that could, the mango tree. Let's see how any flowering coming on. Any flowers getting bigger. I can't tell if those are actually sprouting out or getting ready to, but those are looking pretty good. Those are starting to open up, if that's what it is. Let's see if there's any other growth kind of coming up. Looks like there's some action happening here towards the top of these two. Nothing too significant, and I'm not really seeing much, although, hold on, we got a new branch down here, so that's not necessarily a sucker, although there are some suckers down here that I do need to attend to. I would attack them now, but I'm holding on to the seed that I just ate from the plum, so I'm going to come back and remove those suckers way at the bottom. So nothing too significant here, but yeah, we'll see what's going on. It's at least appearing to, you know, still remain healthy and still growing out, especially over on this section. I mean, that's definitely some pretty wide expansiveness since I last saw it. I was already seeing glimpses of the grapes as I was walking through the garden, but man, check these out. Let's take a walk down the grapevine here. Got grapes all over. Looks like some are even starting to ripen. Got in a good amount of grapes over here. I mean, really the whole thing is just filled with grapes. This thing is really doing good this year. It's unfortunate when it comes to grapes, they all ripen at the same time. Man, check it out all down here. So much. This is definitely Mediterranean. Let's take a look and see how the old one's doing compared to the new one. Well, it's definitely the old one that is doing the most production compared to the new one. But what I'm looking at is the new one is growing nice and long. So if I were to take the new one as far as on which one to keep or cut for next year, the new one is probably going to reach it. I'm not really seeing too much of that with the old one. So that's going to be that's going to be a decision. Do I go with something that's going to get me all the way down there now and is maybe not producing well yet, but might in the next year or two? Or do I take the one that's just going crazy on production and keep it and just, you know, kind of put up with the, you know, slow growth here at the end, and maybe it'll take a couple more years to get all the way down? I don't know. That's got the question I'll have to answer come next year. All right, so that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video. So again, I just wanted to kind of take you guys along on Summer Solstice and show you guys my reaction to the garden as it was after I just got back from the Rubicon Trail. So a lot of good things and some kind of sad things, not, you know, with losing some of those avocados and oranges and everything. I wish I was seeing a little bit more, but, you know, that's just gardening. You got to take it with the good and take it with the bad and just, you know, keep pressing on, because eventually all that growth that didn't happen is going to come in the following years for sure, as long as you keep up with good maintenance and proper nutrition with your garden. All right, so now I'm going to be getting hot and heavy right after I render this video on my jeeping videos. For those who watch my jeeping videos, I'm going to have like 4, I think, parts to the Rubicon Trail, plus maybe some spin-offs, but we'll see how that's going. I definitely got quite a bit of editing I'm about to go and sit down and get started on. But anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.